Hello and welcome to TVJ's Final Whistle. I'm Simon Preston and I'm joined alongside Liam Henriquez. We're going to break down the matches from today. Day number 12 in the FIFA World Cup. We had 4 games and 12 goals. Liam, let's start with Uruguay as they topped Group A, defeating the host nation Russia 3-0. What were your thoughts about this performance from Uruguay?
Before this game, you were saying about Uruguay, when they make it to round of 16, they'll probably get knocked out because they struggle to beat Saudi Arabia, they struggle to beat Egypt. But when they did show this performance against the host, this team that crushed Saudi Arabia, crushed Egypt, when they beat this team 3-0, this good Russian side, walked all over this Russian side, you were like, you kind of like, all right, now they have a chance, and they kind of proved something here. And one thing I got to mention is Zubia, the striker. I think if the defenders of the Uruguay were pulling his shirt constantly, tackling him constantly, and I find that he could have maybe scored 1 or 2 goals to give Russia a chance if they were not pushing and pulling on him, because that's what I found.
And as you know, for Russia as well, this is their first loss of the tournament. They had the home support with them, but they have some injuries, as you know. Jagoev has not been involved since that Saudi Arabia game, and they rested one of their young players, Golovin, as well.
Yeah,
so the team didn't have a lot of attacking options.
And they got a red card, and that kind of destroyed them. Their defense wasn't really good at all. So I think Uruguay was just better on the day. And
all right, let's move on to the next day. Saudi Arabia defeating Egypt 2-1. Saudi Arabia, this is their first win in the World Cup since 1994. Well, I was just a young lad then. Liam, I'm not sure where you were, but Saudi Arabia, a victory over Egypt. It must have been a disappointing tournament for Egypt, Liam. 3 matches, 3 losses.
Going into this tournament, everyone was saying Egypt could be favourites to go to the round of 16. And I mean, to be honest with you, it's very disappointing that they didn't even pick up 1 point. The only thing I can get a positive off of is Salah scored. Salah got his 2 goals. The 45-year-old keeper saved the penalty. I think Saudi Arabia, in my opinion, they haven't been good, but in my opinion, they've just looked more. This Egypt team has not looked experienced, and that's what I'm saying. I think the Saudi Arabian team has looked more experienced. I think they have more older players generally that have more experience. They haven't been quality good, but they're just experienced. Right. I think that's what helped them.
Yes, certainly a number of players in the squad of the Saudi Arabians with a lot of caps under their belt. Let's go on to Group B now.
And they have World Cup experience, obviously.
Spain and Morocco. Morocco, they took the lead, Liam, twice.
Yeah, I mean, Morocco must be looking back on this saying, if we did this against Iran and Portugal, could we have had a chance?
Yeah.
So Morocco just went into the game. We have nothing to lose. Let's just play best football, try to get the best results, try to at least go home with something on the board. And that's what they did. They got their early goal, but then Iniesta came back with a splendid piece of play. Isco finished it. Then they scored again, which usually doesn't happen. You see, all right, sometimes a small team will score against a big team 1-0, and then the big team will usually equalize and then probably win the game. But you don't see a small team score, the big team equalize, and the small team score again to win. And then they did that, and then unluckily, a goal that was actually ruled out, but then VAR came into hand and called back the goal. And imagine if VAR wasn't there, Iran would probably go through at this point.
Well, goal difference would certainly be the decider at the end of the day, with Spain being on 4 points possibly and Iran on 4.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at the next fixture today. Iran and Portugal, a 1-1 draw. The result, was that a surprise for you?
Well, Iran I've actually been very proud of them. I actually expected them to come bottom of the group. Yeah, it is a surprise, but you can understand how it happened that Portugal scored. They didn't create that much enough chances. They kind of scored. They hung on for most of the game, and got in the late stage, and they were expecting, all right, it's 1-0, it's going to keep that way. But out of nowhere, Iran got the penalty, and they scored. And then actually, right after that, they had another chance, and they could have won the game. So I mean, Iran, and they also could have took the lead against Spain early. They had a chance then. So if Iran actually took every single chance they got, they could have probably got to the round of 16. This match had a lot of fouls in them. There was a lot of fouls and rough play and fighting, and Iran players, especially the striker number 20, I can't remember, Azmoun?
Sardar Azmoun.
Yeah, he got really wild up and stuff. There was a lot of yellow cards. I'm surprised there wasn't a red. Ronaldo could have also got sent off. But Quaresma with a really nice strike. He usually doesn't start. To some people's confusion, he usually doesn't start. And I think Magic gave him the chance. He scored the goal. He proved something there. And you could even see when he came off of Bernardo Silva, he's kind of annoyed. And he proved something with his goal.
Certainly he did. Well, let's look ahead to tomorrow's fixtures now. Now we're going to have 4 fixtures. Firstly, we're going to look at Group C, and on TVJ it's going to be France coming up against Denmark, and on TVJ Sports Network it's going to be the already eliminated Peru taking on the Socceroos of Australia. Liam, your predictions for these 2 games?
Well, for France-Denmark, I am hoping Denmark can just hold on, park the bus, and get one lucky goal. Because if they win, then that would mean Denmark will play Argentina, not France.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping Denmark can beat.
What do you have against France?
It's a hard opposition. So
as an Argentine fan.
But what would make it interesting is my brother supports France. So if they were to play each other in the round of 16, that would make it interesting. So for this, I'm going to say France. Obviously, I'm going to say France. I'm going to say 2-1 because I think Denmark have showed good quality and I think they will score. Australia, Peru. Peru's already eliminated. I think Peru have a really good side, a really good attacking side. They should get. I think they're gonna want a point on the board. So I am going to say, what would I say? A 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with a Peru win for this one. And finally, Group D, the big fixture, Liam. Argentina against Nigeria. They met back in the '94 World Cup, the 2002, 2010, 2014, and now 2018. A big game for Argentina.
Yeah, I mean, I think Argentina will win just as they have more experience, they have more quality. I think you can't see Argentina losing to this Nigeria team. I mean, maybe on another day in an international friendly, which they actually did, but no, all the Argentina players knowing they have to win this game, I think they will win this game. And I think they will win this game by actually, I'm going to say 3-1.
3-1 Argentina, well that's what Liam says. And finally,
what
do I say? I say an Argentina victory. I say 2-1, 2-1 in favor of the Argentines. Iceland, Croatia.
Well, I mean, Iceland, if Argentina win this game, Iceland need to win. Iceland need to win this game. So, but Croatia, they've done really well, and I mean.
But they want to top the group. Let's not forget that as well. And a Nigeria win would make things a bit tricky.
Yeah,
so they'll be one to at least get a draw.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, I'm favoriting Croatia being an Argentine fan. So, but I'm gonna say Iceland know they have to get a result out of this game. So I think Iceland will fight, but I think it will end in a 2-2 draw. Okay,
I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw. Well, that's it for the final whistle for today. I'm Simon Preston, joined alongside Liam Henriquez. Stay tuned for tomorrow's episode where we wrap up all of these action in the 2018 FIFA World Cup.